do one. You have to saw one year many na about 40 million. You do school one. Yes, it's your cement. Na yen chiasika kama yen share yen niema no ensi ho
school no
Kumasi girls yeah e ho na me ba ni ko school eti edu ho no ye to sekan ye to cement ansa na ye share yen niema na ye de esi ho what you say ene na do ba e wom what to form ni mattress any your friend said biano can you imagine say wa kwa kuta e maten wa kuta say wo kita maten no wa kwa wo feed wo kura wo ankasa no what think say what you say na wo tokete no bi ma ba na aduane ni a o san koma won koto o chia school fees ni ma no wo be se o to fom no to praye kura de pra no fa ma wo se ko na ko de yan me di aboa me because me nua no me sister mo no mo ni bi but nipa be eti omu a o matini akofri SHS awie amen ne wo mo so kasa so makọ SS enya kura e ho kakra no me kura aboa me
ma da speed mame bra sorry bra I say why hot pa
my hot
pipina na yo de
pipina na me wo
na yo de
eno na me wo
adenti
me kai bire bia ade NDC de ya me papa wo me
papa
na me papa wo ska na me twa me papa si de NDC de ye no koyo de ne fa so no ti me NDC de me ntuma aba me
omo ye ne den omo ye wo de
omo ye me papa de Satam na ejeje time na koyo omo de me papa fa so no asa wo ska kura na ye twetwa me nya asem ketewa me ntumi nka ni na de me de NDC de la like
Madana MPP abanya o mata so HC o ma yama o aba say oni agisa be bi option to by force
me ma binimu akọ free HS me ma binimu akọ
o ma hine ko
me nua no me baba ko me sisa ba me nsa na ko
so the first HS na and one
ayi anti me hwa to pa ya wa chia mpuntu abaya wa ye bi ti me de ma ba party if I'm about
my back kasa na o kasa ba for say ne ba back then about you ko to about 4,000 Ghana cedis and so wo fu senti na aban atwa school sama on so to point ma wana
wa kasa aban chia school fees amount na on so ko to prayer ma na no fie prayer ko anya wa na ato fie prayer wa na ato aban so say
o ka say free no ka bia nya free
myself to be in your freeze. To be in your freeze. Papa no why be
That's a why. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, this elections, who are you voting for?
Oh, I'm voting for NDC.
Why NDC?
Oh, you see, Bamia said it. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And today, if I don't know anything at all, I know the exchange rate, you understand? And let me tell you something. You are buying cement, bag of cement, 120 cedis, and minimum wage is 18 cedis. It does not make sense. You understand? You are paying light bill of more than, on an understandable percentage. You can now use even 100 Ghana for 1 week. Just using common fridge and TV and this light without air conditioning and those things. So next time is very hard. If we are talking about the system, the way commodities, inflation are very high, my brother, even Samira will tell you she not vote for Bamia.
Which Samira?
Samira Bamia.
Bamia's wife.
Yeah, if you are taking reality, and if she's a rare Muslim who believes in one God and know that, lying to people is haram, you go to hell. And we are talking about reality. Compare Muhammad and Bamia. Samira will never vote for Bamia.
Yes, Obi. Yeah, let's talk about exchange rates depreciation. Yeah, buy it. So, Mukaya, 2017, 4.2.
Yeah.
2009, President Kufuor na cedi no 1.2. And now, over 8 years, no, omo 2009 2016 record, no, omo movie cedi no to 4.2, which is increase of more than 300% increase, and our depreciation in the cedi. Nene. The dollar to cedi is 5.4. You can say it hasn't shifted, but the rate at which, context is everything, Obi. The rate at which it has moved, it is 4.4. If NDC were managing the economy the way they've been managing it before we won power now, it drew 12 points, BB. Because this is 300% increase over that period. No, if we were replicating what they do, or if they were in power, God forbid, and then we'll be talking about 12.8. But we've just moved from 4.2 to 5.2. So we're doing far better.
Yeah.
I mean, this elections, who are you voting for?
Oh, I'm voting for NDC.
Well, why NDC?
Oh, you see, Bamia said it. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And today, if I don't know anything at all, I know the exchange rate, you understand? And let me tell you something. You are buying cement, bag of cement, 120 cedis. And minimum wage is 18 cedis. It does not make sense. You understand? We are paying light bill of more than, on an understandable percentage. You can now use even 100 Ghana for 1 week. Just using common fridge and TV and this light without air conditioning and those things. So the system is very hard. If we are talking about the system, the way commodities, inflation are very high, my brother, even Samira will tell you she not vote for Bamia.
Which Samira?
Samira Bamia.
Bamia's wife.
Yeah, if you are taking reality, and if she's a rare Muslim who believes in one God and know that, lying to people is haram, you go to hell. And we are talking about reality. Compare Muhammad and Bamia. Samira will never vote for Bamia.
Yes, Obi. Yeah, let's talk about exchange rates depreciation. Yeah, Biden. So, Mukaya, 2017, 4.2.
Yeah.
2009, President Kufuor na cedi no 1.2. And now, over 8 years, no, omo 2009 2016 record, no, omo movie cedi no to 4.2, which is increase of more than 300% increase, and our depreciation in the city. Nene, the dollar to cedi is 5.4. And can say it hasn't shifted, but the rate at which, context is everything, Obi. The rate at which it has moved, it is 4.4. If NDC were managing the economy the way they've been managing it before we won power now, it drew 12 points, BB. Because this is 300% increase over that period. No, if we were replicating what they do, or if they were in power, God forbid that, and then we'll be talking about 12.8. But we've just moved from 4.2 to 5.2. So we're doing far better.
Na son ce muku alherin naku ne. Sarautar naku ne. Oh, she's crying, she's crying. She's crying. She zango ya samu sannan wani ya samu. Don gaba da bayan duka zango ne. Yasa ku yi hakuri. Ban son magana na yayi. Kuma ba ce abin banza ba. Abin alhairi ake kawowa. Yau da nike sayi nan, da ban samu na yi karatun boko ba da zango ba mu da wani da ke sayan muna da za shi da mun gaba. Yasa gwamnati ne zai zo gana ya ce yaranku, yaran zango, duk yaron gana duka. In iyayenka na da shi, in bai da shi, kai dai sai da yaro ka shi kuma wata rana ya yi albarka ya zo ya share maka hawaye. Wannan gwamnati ya kamata mu taimake shi. Ina tunawa 2016 ya zuwa campaign she mu shiga zango, she ka ji 'yan zango na cewa free education ba dole ba, amma na san kamar wata rana an zuwa gane. Wata rana an yi mai an zo a gane da muka shiga fadar sarki an yi magana wurin aka ce yaranmu na gida wasu sun je school sun rika takardunsu ba mai taimakonsu. To zango in ba mu taimaki juna ba.
$10,000 na sabita frache sort as here. Young fan say 7 years ago. Na ne number say 4 point something. Wow, we did this say a dear no nipa no betimi aye. Hayen uyi nyoma omo kan say uyi nyoma. Omo say omo mfa exchange rate in working. Ye pedi oti GRA ho no and oti customs ho no. No me kan kire say your exchange rate no dey working. Mo the exchange rate and mo dey working duty a ye tua. mo the exchange rate na work duty a yetua yes $100 ye di sika kakraka na ekosisa no ntu beton no ma wie na waboka mo da so te so sa hwe ye bibia anko so oman ne ye ba omia di asem biem na oba be ka kire di asem biem na ba omia be ka kire o ka no kure na MPP fo na nkasa mi MPP ni o ka no kure om be so mbeti e na ekoso yi oman kitikiti te se Ghana ese Ghana brese oman te se Ghana ese Ghana brese uko krobi so the province Ghana kiti your gold diamond bauxite manganese oil ya oil account sebita fracho ya papa kufo ba e no so ti ase oye bi mi ehu e papa no mu ye mo ti so na mo kasa papa ne ti ho adentina mun ko consult no na mo na oman bre ne nkofo bre wo ankasa on me kasa anope wadidi mi bisa wadidi wadidi ana unidi ye adiantina no pay oba to say unidi ye.
The MPP will shift the focus of economic policy away from taxation to production. So we are going to move away from taxation to production. From taxation to production. The MP.
What has happened? If monies which should not be paid have been paid, 12 million is not small money,
it's
my
not.
sister. It's not small money. And we are taxing people. In fact, we are moving the country from taxation to robbery instead of to production that we were promised. Now we are robbing everybody. Even your money that you are using to pay them, they tax you on it. So this is robbery. We are robbing people and use it this way. I can't get it.
We are a driver. Oh my no chance to move.
You are okay.
You are okay.
I'm a paying university now. Form so I'm on top. Oh, definitely NPP na my party. Nti as a mumboa na Akufo-Addo ne Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia amontoa amambo so. Na be born my Ghana.
But I didn't know NPP because they ask go move say on my mind didn't man about also still now. Oh yeah, they don't cry NPP.
Oh, that be yes sir. Jomama ba en yehu ye Jomama obedi akuya ne pe na NPP aban so obedi akuya no ti mi mahu difference e wo mi ti mi san to ma ba ma Jomama so san medi mi su bi if you say do be ye no mahu anya santini asem na enye fantini ana say nod na asem eye de me pe ene de makoma di akire na me NPP party a me hu ni say o me na beti ma bo man Ghana eti mo yemboa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na onfa akunya no na onfa kuya em break 8 no
over what aso bofu bizarre bra aba relax about when you koto no one about to man no man mu send e call you okay we okay tell me about that
isa na yewo mu no impempre yewo mu ide me to ma ba meto ma John Mahama adenti se Akufo-Addo obedi mi hwammo 2016 ono nti me no obi popo why because wo hwe promise na eba no a
ne mu ye de
asa me mekura so wo bebie factory wo ho mo a mesema ba nkra ha am
wo fifa
fi adwuma ko central region atofo asenkrum ho ne me free yes ho ne me free ntade na say one district one factory ba ho mo a mi nsomu na adwuma pa no mentra mi krom ne ntame ye de menye because mo dan wo mi krom ma bankra ha ha single room 3.5 oda say mi ne on all kasa sisi na say wase mo ya mutu ne wuchiri no bo on ka no kra na nkire wo spare ko nya bi mbo spare komo spare ko nya bi mbo ni wo bu funto bi kwa beji ne lances kwa to atwene mi kan da on do pon kasa so meboa wuchiri so nka no kra obi du wo bu fu beji lances ayede ato atwene ene lances kwa ye de ne say obi okuta lances bo obi abeyi ato atwene because of no kwa bi a won ye de onka o mani mu oden bra me ba yes free education fine na do wo de aba yesom no monetary oda say na nipo ne tewo na mo ye de omo pe me be ko school ayese free education nyoma ye gi me a me de me sika toto ye 34 million kan sika And the 3,400
Ghana cedis.
Yes. Akwa no school no afrɛ me da me ndidi yo. Kakra da mo na akra wa sam sanso ye de. Esene edoko.
O say a school.
A school be. Fatamai Secondary School.
Fatamai Secondary School. Fatamai Secondary School.
Say ye no kure. Enye no kure. Dey say ye no kure. Asma wo kan no.
Boss, hold on for me. O say enye no kure.
Dey say ye no kure. Boss, wa asma wo kan say 3,400. Ah wo tua. E school fees na say dey. Busa no. E school fees no tua na. Me sin nyoma metoto ye. And no man to toy. Look at all this. It could see 3,400. Look at all this.
The troll box there.
And this crummy brush. Marco 5. Massa, I don't want to talk. I buy a more mattress. Almost on Jimmy mattress. Tell me you go school now. You choose school fees. Sign your money and Tuana. Now, if you hadn't know, we catch him say, Wakoto and Yamanqua 3,400. I would say, Edumaso, Enquoye, no, Enquoye, Nayakan was some and the pot. Yikale saying, Obimba Toka, Munubia. This will be the dead and no, the OT freak opposite or more be free from books. No, I was some books open books free, we are free. No, work a free. Near Crasini, Manco School, and Demetrimus be free. Who tell me? Manco School. No, I because I didn't free. It was say you're free, the mommy. Me Ben was me who said you're free.
That's it. Thank you so much. Driver. Oh my own chance.
You are okay. I'm paying in the vice. Form so I'm on top. Oh, definitely NPP and the party.
And tell me whether it's true or false on the lying bit. I shall protect the public purse. True or false? I am too old to steal your money. I already have my own money. True or false? Yet is castle, Mr. Come there. True or false? Try me and see. True or false? I am not corrupt and will never be corrupt. True or false? I can develop Ghana without borrowing. The money is here. True or false? I will transform Ghana in 18 months. True or false? I will not operate a family and friends government. True or false? I will fight corruption with the Anas principle. True or false? I will make the Kole Lagoon and Odo River tourist sites. True or false? I will build a factory in every district. True or false? I will give each constituency $1 million every year. True or false? I will arrest the dollar. True or false? The hikes in fuel prices will be a thing of the past. True or false? I will make Accra the cleanest city in the whole of Africa. True or false? I will build 111 district hospitals in 18 months. True or false? I will build 350 new secondary schools from scratch. True or false? We will never go to the IMF for bailout again. True or false? This is from the president.
This dredging, cleaning up is going to take about 6 months to complete this one. Then the Kole Lagoon itself will take a longer time because that's where we have more composition of material, which needs to take a longer time, maybe about a year or two to finish. We're going to have recreational facilities. That is the sea outfall. So along we have recreational facilities, other infrastructure, we can have some hotels will come at the end, and this makes the whole place. Then we're dredging all the way through Cycle to Kole Lagoon, where we call the Clep Interceptor. From there, we end up at the estuary into the sea. Before the commencement of the work, this is how the situation was. The channels were heavily silted. Along the channel, you can see very heavy siltation. So this is the beginning. Then during the process of the dredging, we had these situations. Gradually, we came up to the end. Then finally, this is the stage that we have reached. And then after that, there was a continuation to carry out the silting, because as we progress, more silt come, and you have to continue dredging.
Now cement, bottle back, you turn to 24 cities. And almost say, you're watching. Some no, na a free Kwame Nkrumah Breso, ekopim samre no na ye kaa ye de 120 billion cedis. Almost say, oh, NDC, ye bobosia dodo. Na sika wo man no mo ehu hia say ye bobosia na dia sesi o man no. Omo kan ya ye na ya sum de se we mo ama ene ye di ye hu hwambo. Nti yen to Emma NDC nkotna enchen kakra na MPP for some embe som nianhwe Ghana for ye mfom so no somehwe a ye koso mo hwe no eno na adane ye so hwe somehwe adane ye so hwe ene cement bottle ba ko ani e turn 24 cedis ye turn 110 cedis ezu ene petrola near ton 14 cedis almost so man penny Mahama ni timu ode no ene ye ton 75 cedis ene dollar abra NDC wo ho ope dollar ba ko a ye je 4 cedis ene sa dollar no ope dollar ba ko a ye je 17 cedis na ankame ena me yes microphone ankame ni be wo amenya akukudrompo se me be sa ba be ka che Ghana for se yento abama me enso sebe ye nuanom de omuni fere bia mo asai o man na wie no almost yes anto abama omo.
We will implement a policy that is also new. We're going to use government's purchasing power to stimulate industrial expansion and business growth, which will help create jobs by rolling out a Buy Ghana First policy. And we are going to back it with law. So, if the Ministry of Education is to procure school uniforms, first look into Ghana. We have a lot of factories. We have a lot of tailors. Let's buy it from Ghana first. Then we will create the jobs in Ghana. Because SMEs employ over 80% of Ghanaians, we really need to focus on their needs if we are to create jobs. And so we are going to set up an SME bank to do this. We will also incentivize
You live in Dabo. You're in Dabo. And you take your temperate. And you vote for NDC. It's a haram. And you pray. And you pray for John Dramani Mahama to become president. Instead of the Kamamud Bawumia. It's a haram. It's not just I can say it. I must say it. NDC only uses Muslims for votes. People stand back. I will use the people. And only uses Muslims for votes. They can use it there. They will use it for votes. So I will not use it. No. If you are a Muslim, I am Muslim. You live in Dabo.
By court, in a majority decision of 5-2, Lovelace Johnson JSC and Amadou Tanko JSC dissenting on the issue of jurisdiction, the plaintiff's action succeeds. The full reasons and orders of the court shall be filed with the registrar by close of day tomorrow, 13th November 2024. This is the judgment of the court.
When people do wickedly, they say go to court. Because they know the court has become toothless. Their hands are tied. They know what is right to do, but they dare not do it. Judgment never goes forth. Those who have money, they're the ones that carry the judgment. And so even when you are being cheated and that they are using that on your head, they say go to court. You shouted, they said, go to court, stop talking. Why are they so bold? Why are the wicked saying we should go to court? Because the court is in their pockets. And the wicked, they compass the righteous everywhere.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Wednesday, the 13th day of November, 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Supreme Court quashes Speaker's decision. 4 MPs remain in Parliament. EC disqualifies GFP presidential candidate. Printing of ballot papers resumes. YEA 2 others partner to train 1,000 youth in fish farming. The Ghanaian Times. Speaker's declaration of 4 seats vacant. Supreme Court, it's unconstitutional. Court to file reasons, orders to Afenyo Markin's case today. Supreme Court ruling, a victory for democracy, Afenyo Markin. Free dialysis treatment for NHI subscribers starts December 1, VIP. EC disqualifies GFP presidential candidate, resumes printing of ballot papers. Daily Guide. Supreme Court overturns backbin, reinstates 4 MPs. EC disqualifies Roman father, Ekuadonko remains on ballot, over 18.7 million to vote on December 7. Pioneering Petroleum Hub Project for Economic Growth. Government gives 51.8 million cedis to GJSP beneficiaries. The New Crusading Guide revealed NDC took $51 million to promote LGBTQ programs. Formally introduced comprehensive sexuality education into national school curriculum from 2012 to 2016, yet blames NPP. Vacant seat blues. Supreme Court decision, victory for democracy and rule of law majority. NPP National Treasurer takes campaign to Volta region. December 7 elections. EC maintains presidential candidates' position on ballot as it disqualifies GFP. Over 4,000 young entrepreneurs receive grants and mentorship under Phase 2 of U-Start Ghana Jobs and Skills Project. YEA partners Fisheries Commission military to train youth in fish farming. The Insight. Boku conflict. Socialist movement Ghana cadres, trade unions condemn effect of war on women, children, and men. Russia's Vladimir Putin offers African countries total support in struggle against terrorism and extremism. Chachu worried over public perception about judiciary. Diabetes Association of Ghana launches nationwide Janovia distribution for adults with type 2 diabetes. Sarki Idrissa Al-Hassan calls for peace, in election 2024, as is installed English Idomia Brazongo chief. The Herald, Jubilee houseboy establishes his innocence in 3.7 million cedis fraud case. Ghana made $800 million from carbon trading with Sweden and Switzerland, Akufo-Addo reveals. Pastor predicts landslide win for Mahama, citing spiritual ordination and Trump's U.S. victory. End dollar dependence and build regional currency for growth. African fuel refiners tell leaders. YEA partners Fisheries Commission, military to train youth in fish farming. Highlights of NDSA and NPP manifestos on economic empowerment. The Daily Statesman. Supreme Court affirms NPP majority. Declares Speaker's ruling on 4 seats unconstitutional. YEA others partner to equip youth for fish farming. First Lady rallies voters for Bawumia and NPP. 2 billion cedis grants for YouStart beneficiaries. The Ghanaian Publisher. Majority Leader welcomes Supreme Court ruling. Urges Speaker to reconvene Parliament. Bawumia proposes National Pilgrimage Authority. Ballot positions unchanged. Bawumia number 1, Mahama number 8. YEA partners military and Fisheries Commission to train youth. The Custodian. It's victory for democracy. Afenyo Makin hails Supreme Court's ruling on MP seats. Kidney patients on NHIs to enjoy free dialysis from December 1. COP29 Summit. Global South demands $5 trillion from North. YouStart. 51.8 million disbursed to 4,174 young entrepreneurs. Well, the statesman says it's 2 billion, not 51.8 million. Well, National Best Farmer second runner-up wins Stanbic Bank Award. Daily Post. Ibrahim Mahama pays $25,000 for kidney transplant to save 13-year-old girl. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Well, it's something he does always, virtually on a daily basis. So I don't even know what to say again. But Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, God richly bless you. EC lists 18.7 million registered voters for December 7 elections. Insist EC paste pink sheets at polling stations. Omani Boama tells NDC supporters. Minority won't return to Parliament until after December polls. Ni Lante. So that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Chale, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia number 1 on the ballot.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh bread.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patch of bantama.
Matias. It's her smile. The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
That's here. Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa.
Kile kosing. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling to Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Customer, I don't know who say.
I've been actually me, man. No more drama, man. Still.
Ah, one of them give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah. Sorry. What rest of so give us here and turn down.
But over that song, but for me to give us the and turn down.
Give us about me, sir.
Me patron the and turn down.
Customer. Give us a turn down. Back.
Onuya kayo, oba wa fa fronum. The woman the bonu fronum. Akwada won you do me no ono so no.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
Apomode hunsem yemfen diagro. Enunti nese wonum ede papa nko a. Exodus moringa capsules and Exodus dandelion capsules. Efi Exodus elusuyenum na beboa wa pomode. Emu bia wo benya no betimi aboa. Nanso se woni to no a wo betimi anom abom na beboa papa apa. Se wonum Exodus moringa capsules na Exodus dandelion capsules. Eboa mamoja di efusani yie. Na afei ebusti wo immune system no na kweti ayarewa ahodo. Menim yie se nipa dodo na nim dia moringa etimi ye. Na dandelion so ye nim. Eno nti me nkasa bebre. Enye mma apemfo. Ana abatan a oma enifo. Ana abofra a onya emfidumi. Exodus ehua dance die dos.
John, mema wakwaba.
Yeah, say.
Alaji, mema wakwaba.
Yeah.
John, I had a bro, one on them.
I really am a gun and tin a menamo, and some break a cran bijano. Don't know anything about Masaba.
Alaji, I had a bro.
Yo, Medasi. Moamonim, Tamana, Amawa, which Mumiana, and a bobo and a cacra. As I say, dear, my crowd said, me person me be warino. Namiko CSN. Name man sign Jinan and Nasubium, no your crabeshe.
Yo, I was not for, yes, Empa. Yo, I'm a Ghana. What's wrong?
Mean to me, ain't son cheap. Show bread baby, I would have fair way. I'm an who. Yeah, be. Meant to me, beauty. Forward ever, backwards. Never.
John, Okoya would me very fast. I would say, a come, do so. Trap me none of me. Yeah, 3 years such as here by a come on your school uncle. And I say, yeah, on my essay.
I say, my sister, be show ball. Saw my chain, 2 o'clock cry. Meko band, the Makwa Iska, Eddie Abraham Ghana, Nama Bonigetri, I'm not starting Kokon Kete. Hey!
Akunta, you are still incompetent.
2 persons outside him, Mamma Bravo, and 2 chachatis aviator. There be Emma so.
Alaji has also promised us jobs through digitalization. Ejimambe Bususe.
Alaji dear, Metenesua, Nema sorry. Emri bia mekani abesano. Otimi talk ania light e woni phone so e ma me ba bia wonam bia. Yo amagana. Enya me me ware ama ho. Alaji ni John so ni wa chusu.
No ababa say. Eye Alaji number 1.
Alaji number 1.
Esuro.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luckiest everywhere.
8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get back packing from your pocket. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck. We'll wait here. We are star 712. It's put your phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Let
me choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. Now we you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or prefer tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. T&Cs apply.
To all our believers,
to the Niger Gunners of Globe Road,
all you Artetas of Africa, of Accra,
of Maputo,
of Oimbo,
the legends of legends down Lusaka way. We hear you.
Now hear us. Obrigado. Galo.
Betway, the official global betting partner of Arsenal.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bready poor mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me. It is by the mattress we did it from there. Yeah? That be the mattress where the dead for me. Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like Ash Foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
You the answer to my prayer. You with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight.
Dr. Baumia once said,
Every constituency will get $1 million every year for rural and deprived communities. Under this program, there should be no village or community in Ghana after the first 2 years that would have a water problem or a toilet problem.
Next joke, please.
Vote
John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And it's been an awesome journey with Momo from MTN, 15 years of ease, safety, and convenience. This is definitely worth celebrating. And that's why the Momo 15 Rewards is here with amazing cash prizes just to say thank you. Send Momo to an MTN Momo user or make payments to an MTN Momo merchant at no cost whatsoever, only on MTN. So go and download My Momo on the App Store or Play Store to enjoy this. Just Momo it everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply. And if you're thinking of getting that toothpaste that will take care of the entire family and save you some money, the recommended family toothpaste is KEL 360 toothpaste. This is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. KEL 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KEL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KEL 360 toothpaste. KEL 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use KEL 360 toothpaste. It's another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. You can call Samara Company on 0246-864-798. KEL 360 toothpaste. Happy smile. Right, with me on the show this morning, I have the managing editor of the Insight newspaper, Kwesi Pratt Jr. Kwesi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. So, also, with me on the show this morning, coming from the Supreme Court with a 5-2 majority decision, clad in an all-white attire, is a member of Parliament for the Efija Kwabre North constituency. He's also a Deputy Minister of Energy. By virtue of the decision of the Supreme Court, 5-2, the champion, Collins Adumako Mensah. Collins, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing very well. It's been a while while I saw my uncle, Kwesi. Of course, the campaign season is on, so I've been in the constituency most of the time. That's why you don't see me here.
Oh, okay. So you only came for the Supreme Court?
Not the Supreme Court.
I see.
I came to say, as you put it, I came to replenish.
You came to refuel.
and then get back to the constituency to continue with the campaign.
You will sit down and work in Parliament?
Oh, Parliament has not been recalled. If you are recalled, you will come.
Today is the 13th.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, 13th, because tomorrow is my sister's birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, 13th. Yeah. And you, originally, you were supposed to break for elections on the 15th.
On the 15th, yes.
Which was going to be Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
And yet, you have not sat for 3 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Unfortunate.
So what's the next one? We'll come to the decision, but so what's going to happen?
Well, for now, we wait on leadership. I'm sure the Speaker, per our standing orders, has the right to recall Parliament back, or 15% of membership can trigger a recall. So far, we've not had any caucus meeting to know the direction of leadership on our side after yesterday's verdict, and so we wait on leadership to give us a direction. But Randy, today is 13th, 3 weeks to go for the elections. I'm sure everybody will be more occupied with putting finishing touches to their campaign. I'm wondering how leadership is going to get all of us back to the house within this short period. So let's see. We are yet to.
Okay, so that sets a tone for our first discussion. And Speaker of Parliament Alvan Bagbin declaring 4 parliamentary seats vacant was unconstitutional. The Supreme Court has ruled by 5-2 majority. Yesterday, the Apex Court, led by Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono, interpreted Article 97(1)(g) and H of the Constitution to mean a member of Parliament vacates his seat only during a term of Parliament and not during a future Parliament. The ruling affirms the application by a leader of the MPP side of Parliament, who refused to yield the majority status of the MPP to the NDC side. Okay, so when 4 MPs declared their intentions to contest the upcoming elections on different political tickets than they currently serve on, the Speaker declared their seats immediately vacant, giving the NDC the majority position by the number of seats retained on their side. Mr. Afenyo-Makin challenged this decision at the Supreme Court and has succeeded today, associated per the ruling read by CJ Gertrude Tokono, and the Supreme Court's full reasoning behind the ruling will be read today. They didn't say they will read it, they said it will be available at the registry by close of day today. Now, former Supreme Court Judge Justice William Atuguba says the Speaker of Parliament, Alvan Bagbin, is bound by the Supreme Court's recent ruling, which overturned his decision to declare the 4 seats vacant. He noted that following the Supreme Court's decision, the 4 affected members of Parliament are entitled to return to Parliament and participate in legislative proceedings. Quote, in the face of this decision, is bound by the decision of the Supreme Court. said in an exclusive interview with Joy News. Okay, and he says that he explained that compliance with the Supreme Court ruling is mandatory, warning that failure to adhere could lead to contempt charges. He highlighted that such contempt is a serious offense, carrying a potential prison sentence of up to 10 years without option of a fine. Rather, that it goes along with a disqualification from holding public office for a decade. It is not necessarily 10 years. You must just suffer a term of imprisonment not exceeding 10 years. Not only that, 10 years disqualification of holding public office. And if you are president, you are liable to removal. While he insists the Speaker must comply with the ruling, South Dai MP Roxy Nelson Defemakpo maintains that Parliament itself must formally endorse any Supreme Court decision. He argued that implementation requires the involvement of all 275 members of Parliament. Speaking to Joy News, Mr. Defemakpo stated that Parliament as a collective body must deliberate and decide how to enact the Supreme Court's directive, asserting that it cannot proceed solely on the basis of a court ruling. Now, Justice Atuba, in a related development, has made some interesting remarks. He's expressed concern over the pervasive influence of politics in various sectors across the country. In an exclusive interview with Joy News yesterday, he remarked, "In this country, we like to pretend, but politics has entered everywhere." His comments were made in relation to the Supreme Court decision. He says, he highlighted his frustration with how political motivations often override ethical considerations. He says, these politicians, we know how they operate. They are not interested in the righteousness of the matter, but the party inclination. Even if someone knows they are on the wrong side, they will still push it. A court is a court. You persuade it for whatever reasons, and it may adopt your view. He also noted that, okay, so we've dealt with that. He says that these politicians, we know how they operate. They are not interested in the righteousness of the matter, but the party inclination. Even if someone knows they are on the wrong side, they will still push it. A court is a court. You persuade it for whatever reasons, and it may adopt your view. Now, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, who doesn't like to be referred to as the leader of the MPP caucus, is the leader of the House. It says that he's extended a hand of friendship to members of the NDC side led by Dr. Atuforsin. He says the time has come for us to move beyond this episode and redirect our energies towards our primary duty, serving the good people of Ghana, who elected us to represent their interests. Our nation faces pressing challenges that demand our united attention and collaborative effort. Okay, so that's the Honorable Afenyo-Markin. But in today's edition of the Daily Post, page 4, Edwin Neelanti Vanderpoy, the Honorable Member of Parliament, NDC Member of Parliament for the Ododo constituency, has announced that the minority caucus will not return to Parliament until after the upcoming elections. This decision follows the majority caucus's move to trigger a recall of Parliament the week of the Supreme Court's recent ruling. And in an interview with Channel 1 TV, Vanderpool emphasized that the MPP caucus could not justify what he called unnecessary spending of taxpayers' money. He affirmed that the NDC minority caucus would focus on election preparations and resume parliamentary duties only after the December polls. Quote, they should not waste the taxpayers' money by asking us to come to Parliament in the next 3 weeks. We are not coming. We are concerned about elections, and we shall only come to Parliament after the elections. That should be at the back of their minds. We want them to understand one fact, that as far as we are concerned, issues about minority or majority are determined by the numbers in the House. So when we resume, the numbers will tell whether we are the majority or they are the majority. This is not about the Supreme Court. It's not for the MPP or the Supreme Court to define for us who are majority or minority in Ghana's Parliament. We have our own procedures for determining who is a majority or who is a minority. When they were declared majority by Speaker Bagbin, did they go to the Supreme Court to seek that declaration? Okay. Ready?
Yes, sir. Randy, first of all, I think that it is impossible for any betting agency to develop a scheme based on Supreme Court rulings in Ghana. Now, look, anybody you ask, everybody knew that the Supreme Court was going to take a decision in favor of the MPP caucus in Parliament and therefore Afenyo Maki. I didn't hear one person who thought that the decision could be anything else than what has been delivered. Now, it is instructive that a former Chief Justice has had cause to complain that our courts are becoming too predictable. As a former Chief Justice, it is also instructive that a legal giant like Mr. Chachu Chikata has made the point that, you know, the crisis in our economy is far less severe than the crisis in our judiciary, and there are several other such comments. Indeed, this morning, we've read the comments of Justice Atuguba, who himself was a Supreme Court judge, and his comments are exceedingly interesting. He makes the point that the politicians we have, weird as they are, appear hell-bent on influencing judicial decisions. And he makes the point that even when they know they are wrong, they still attempt to influence judicial decisions, and that the courts are courts and can be persuaded by different kinds of means, and so on. These are very sad commentaries in any democratic, dispensation. These are very, very sad commentaries, but these are the commentaries which are being made. Now, Randy, I, as a layperson, finds the decision of the Supreme Court exceedingly weird. Okay, and I would explain. By the Supreme Court decision, somebody like Mamle Cynthia Morrison, Honorable, is still an MPP member of Parliament. Clear. And by virtue of a membership of the MPP, membership of Parliament as an MPP parliamentarian, she's entitled to participate in decisions of the MPP caucus. Now, here is a woman who, on the ground, in the constituency, is fighting the MPP, is campaigning against the MPP. And yet the Supreme Court says that she remains a member of the MPP caucus. How is that going to work? The Supreme Court is saying that Honorable Mamle Morrison can attend MPP caucus meeting, even though she's against the party. This is weird. Extremely weird. By that decision, the Supreme Court is also saying that the NDC member of Parliament who's gone independent is still a member of the NDC caucus in Parliament. Weird. How does the NDC admit somebody into its meetings, some of which may be confidential meetings, who is on the ground campaigning against the party? So, these decisions, at least, they ought to sound reasonable to people like us. But clearly, they don't. Now, the decision has been made that the Speaker's ruling was unconstitutional. What is the effect of that?
Look, you see, that's what I was going to ask you about in view of your earlier remarks. Because we've not seen the reasons by the Supreme Court, could it be that the Supreme Court's position that the Speaker's action was unconstitutional has to do with one of the reliefs from the plaintiffs, which makes the point that by the Constitution, it is the High Court that can pronounce on a vacancy and not the Speaker. Could it be that that was the decision of the Supreme Court, and that the Supreme Court has not gone into whether the MPP or NDC constitutions kick in, whether they remain members or not members, but on the vexed issue of whether it is the High Court that can pronounce on the matter or the Speaker?
Let us assume that your speculation is grounded. Let us assume that your speculation is grounded. And that the Supreme Court's decision is that it's the High Court which can pronounce on the matter. Until the High Court pronounced on the matter, the status quo remains.
No, they say that, you see, what they have announced to us is that the decision by the Speaker is unconstitutional. The reason why they say it's unconstitutional is what I am putting out a guess.
Exactly.
No, let me say, is what I'm putting out a guess. But what they have said is that the decision by the Speaker is unconstitutional, which means that they've quashed it, because that was the relief sought by. That if you agree with me that it is so, then give me ABCD. So the effect is that the decision taken by the Speaker, as far as the Supreme Court, is quashed. The Supreme Court has told us that by 5-2, they say that it's unconstitutional. Now, my point is that because we've not seen the reasons, is it possible that all they focused on was that it is the High Court, or it doesn't lie in the mouth or power of the Speaker to declare a seat vacant, and therefore his action is unconstitutional?
Randy, and I'm saying that let us assume that is what the Supreme Court decision is based on. Even if we assume that is what the Supreme Court decision is based on, the High Court has not taken a position yet.
Nobody is before the High Court.
Exactly.
Yes.
So therefore, we go back to the status quo ante.
Which the status quo ante is...
Which means that we are still members of Parliament.
Yes.
Which then all these practical difficulties kick in.
Oh yes.
You understand?
Oh, yes.
So no matter the reasons that the Supreme Court gives, by deciding that the Speaker's ruling or the Speaker's announcement or decision was unconstitutional, we are now saying that Cynthia Morrison is still an MPP member of Parliament, therefore, by implication, belongs to the MPP caucus, and in spite of the fact that she's campaigning against the MPP in her constituency, has a seat in the MPP caucus in Parliament.
In fact, the Sum MP, what's his name?
I mean, that's absurd.
The Sum MP, because he's told us publicly that when the notice of poll came out, he was taken off the platform.
Cynthia Morrison was taken off the platform?
And they were taken off the platform.
Yes.
And then when the court case, the decision came and they were going to go, they were added to the platform.
Exactly.
So obviously, the caucus itself, the leadership of the caucus, realized that these were traitors. These were not people we could trust. These are not people who can work with us.
Yes.
And they are not people who should be privy to caucus information. And that's how come they took them off the platforms.
Exactly.
But of course, once they had initiated a court action, it was in their interest to then bring them back.
So this is the absurd situation we have. You understand? Absurd situation, really absurd situation. But hey, Yandi, you are not a Supreme Court judge. Maybe you would never be. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will never be.
And I'm not even a lawyer. You understand? But the law ought to be logical, ought to make sense. And in this particular case, I find it extremely difficult to accept that somebody campaigning against a party can actually be forced by some interpretation of the Constitution to remain part of that party, and therefore, by right, should attend meetings of the party, including confidential meetings of the party. Very strange decision. But the decision has been made. Okay. Now, the question then is that what is the purpose of this decision? What is the effect of this decision? As we speak, as we sit here this morning, Parliament is not sitting. And government and its caucus in Parliament, the MPP caucus in Parliament, insists that there is urgent business to be done. That is why they signed a petition calling on the Speaker to reconvene Parliament and so on. Okay. This decision, can it in any practical terms lead to reconvening of Parliament? I doubt. A petition may be filed, yes, compelling the Speaker to reconvene Parliament. When the Speaker reconvenes Parliament, just on the basis of the standing orders, he needs numbers to be able to allow Parliament to work. If those numbers are not present in Parliament, Parliament cannot work. Even if the Speaker is compelled to reconvene Parliament. So what is the effect of the Supreme Court decision? What is the practical effect of the Supreme Court decision? This Supreme Court decision cannot by any stretch of imagination lead to an order about where people should sit in Parliament. It cannot. So this whole hula baloo about where parliamentarians sit has not been resolved by this Supreme Court decision. And Randy, I know you read the newspapers yesterday. I read all the newspapers I could find yesterday, and 3 of them carried a very interesting story. New Crusading Guide, the Daily Guide, and one other newspaper. And they gave reasons why Honorable Afenyo-Markin is acting in the manner he is acting today. And they quoted Honorable Afenyo-Markin. And his primary reason was that this whole issue is spiritual. It's not a legal issue, it's not a constitutional issue, it is a spiritual issue. Spiritual. Randy, Afenyo-Markin says there's a spiritual issue. Are we taking spiritual issues to the Supreme Court?
Maybe he's a spiritual man.
Yeah, he can be a spiritual man. But the Supreme Court does not make determinations on spiritual issues. So if it's as spiritual as Afenyo-Markin wants us to believe, why did he take the matter to the court, to the Supreme Court, spiritual issue? Why? Didn't he know that there is somebody on the Intex Road called Archbishop Dr. Williams? He didn't know that. He didn't know of Benson Otabil.
You don't know.
He didn't know of Obinim and
You don't
so
know
on.
who he has consulted. So he took the legal matter to the Supreme Court. And he is also exercising the spiritual things elsewhere.
He did not talk about legality.
Oh no, he says speaking that in court. He's speaking law in court. And he's speaking spirituality
I mean, when I read that
somewhere
piece
else.
yesterday, I was shivering that this whole matter is spiritual. Spiritual. Honorable. We are wasting our time on spiritual matters. And the Supreme Court actually sits on a spiritual matter. What? But that is what he says, you know. And yesterday I was so completely shocked, you know. But be that as it may, the court has made a determination. There is a school of thought which insists that the law and its interpretation ought to be purposive. So we need to find the purpose that this ruling serves. And I'm struggling. I can't find it.
Maybe when the decision comes, when we see the
consequential orders.
No, so they will give us the reasons for the decision. So the reasons plus the consequential orders will give us maybe a deeper insight.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see it now, and I can't.
Because you are not a spiritual man.
That is true.
Okay.
Randy, that one there, you are correct. I mean, I saw the spiritual business and so on. I'm not into that vocation at all, you know. But then, can this lead to a reconvening of Parliament? By itself, it cannot.
Yes.
Can it determine where people sit in Parliament? By itself, it cannot. So what is the purpose of all this ruling, all this hula baloo and so? What is the purpose?
Maybe it's a guide to future. So 2 things will happen. 1, the MPP gets to keep its majority until the expiration of this.
But the MPP has no majority.
No, I'm saying that the MPP side was declared the majority.
No.
No, I'm saying that the speaker, the same speaker.
No.
Why?
Randy, the speaker was careful.
Yes.
In his ruling that day to make the point that there's no majority caucus in Parliament. There cannot be. by virtue of Article 98(1), G and H, that there could not be a majority party in Parliament. And therefore, the Speaker's ruling was that because the independent candidate had opted to work with the MPP side, there was a majority group and not caucus. The Speaker was emphatic on that, and a minority group. Because it would have been very strange, exceedingly strange, if anybody, not just the Speaker, had declared that 137 can mathematically be superior to 137. It's a mathematical impossibility. Yes, sir. So the Speaker could not have made that declaration. So the Speaker, in his own wisdom, and being who he is, and so on, then decided to use group instead of caucus. I was opposed to the Speaker's ruling at that time, because it raised many fundamental constitutional and legal matters, you understand. But everybody allowed it to go. What we are suffering today is a consequence of that ruling by the Speaker declaring the MPP group majority.
Because the independent decided to opt to work with them.
Yes. Yes.
So that gave them a working majority.
Group as a group.
Yes.
Not as a party caucus.
Yes. So there's a majority group.
Yes, majority group.
Yes.
But even that, I believe that a strict application of the provisions of the Constitution disabled the Speaker from making that decision. Strict application.
But we've gone past that, and nobody challenged it in court.
At the time, I warned that it will have consequences, and now we have consequences. You know, what I think actually happened was that this whole idea of 137 as against 137 had never occurred in our parliamentary history, right from independence. Never occurred. And I don't think that anybody assumed that one day we'll be faced with this reality. So the tradition, the practice, the standing orders and all has been couched in such a way as to reflect majority versus minority. When the situation changed, we needed to have done re-engineering, you know, to rewrite the standing orders, to take account of the fact that, look, we are now in uncharted territory. We are now in a territory in which the MPP has 137, the MPP has 137, and there's no majority. Rather than re-think through the standing orders and recraft the standing orders and so on, the Speaker chose the easy option of declaring the independent candidate or independent member of Parliament and the MPP majority group. I have to be careful how I speak, because otherwise I'll describe this as a very lazy option. Lazy option. And the lazy option is what has brought us here. The lazy option is what has brought us here. In any case, Parliament is supposed to wind up its business by Friday. Okay. Not originally, nothing has changed. That hasn't changed. There's no decision which changes that as we sit here. It may change, but it hasn't changed. You understand? So Parliament is supposed to wind up its business by Friday. Today is Wednesday. All of you members of Parliament know that it is extremely risky now to be spending your time in Parliament rather than in your constituencies. That's a real practical problem for you as members of Parliament. How do you overcome that problem? And in any case, even if you decided to leave your constituencies and go to Parliament, to go and carry on business as usual and so on, how are you sure of achieving a quorum, of making a quorum? It's impossible to determine now. Now, you yourself signed a petition compelling the Speaker to reconvene Parliament, and you refused to go to Parliament. You refused practically to go to Parliament when Parliament was reconvened. So what kind of circus are we in? We're in a complete circus. You cannot make any reasonable prediction today sitting here based on the Supreme Court decision. In any case, Afenyo-Makin, one of his biggest problems is that he cannot sit in the chair of the minority leader for spiritual reasons. Is there a chair in Parliament which is designated as the minority leader's chair? I don't know. There's no chair in Parliament, as far as I'm concerned, which is designated as a minority leader's chair.
There are sites. And then there is a place on each side for the leaders. And then there are name tags too.
Yeah, but those name tags, they are always removed. They remove Haruna Idrisu's name tag and put Atufosin's name tag. You know, they are always removed. So there's no chair, practically, which is designated as belonging to one particular person. There's no chair.
Now you don't know. Maybe somebody carries this chair.
And this right side and left side is not even in the standing orders of Parliament.
It's a convention.
Yes. Okay.
It's a convention. So.
Randy, I'm not disputing that. But it's not in the standing orders. It's not something that you can enforce by law. Even the Supreme Court cannot decide who sits where in Parliament. It's not a matter of constitutional interpretation. It's not a violation of law and so on. So this ruling by the Supreme Court, what really is the effect of that?
I've told you.
Yes, Randy, tell me what the effect
that is. The group that has operated as the majority from January 8th or so will continue to operate as such until the dissolution of Parliament. That's the effect.
You see, there are other practical problems. And Honorable, please guide us. You are a member of Parliament. You have Right Honorable Bagbin as the Speaker of Parliament. Okay. And then you have Joe Wise. I've forgotten his real name.
Joe Osei-Wusu.
Joe Osei-Wusu as the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. And then you have the independent Member of Parliament as the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament. What does the rule say?
That both should not come from the same party.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying that.
Now you have a situation where the first Deputy Speaker is from MPP, the second Deputy Speaker is from MPP. What the situation?
Maybe what should have happened was that maybe somebody should have gone to court at the time. To say that to the extent that he has opted to work with the MPP group, and to the extent that that then constitutes the majority group, he cannot, or both of them cannot be first deputy and second deputy.
There were practical problems. Okay. One of the practical problems was that in persuading him to be on the NPP side,
yes,
this is one of the offers made to him.
Yes.
That if he agreed to be on the NPP side, he would then become the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament. One of the things that was offered to him.
And the NDC also agreed.
And the NDC itself, at the time, was not in a fighting mood. It was in a mood for compromises.
No, they believe that they have got the Speaker. So if the MPP will not drag the issue of the chewed ballot papers and others, and this is what they want, let's give it to them and move on.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the NDC itself was in a mood to abandon principle and legality at that time in favor of compromises. This is the price we are paying for the compromises, the unreasonable and illegal compromises which were reached at the time. That's the price we are paying.
You have a point.
Okay? So, if we are in a crisis, we are in a crisis because all the parties in Parliament, plus the Speaker, decided to reach compromises which on the face of the compromises violated the Constitution.
Because they then believe that they are master of their own rules.
Exactly.
Today, one side doesn't believe same.
Exactly. One side and the Supreme Court are saying that we are not in...
No, they don't believe, so they went.
Yes, and the Supreme Court agrees with them. Okay? So now we are in a situation where compromise, where negotiations and so on has been thrown away.
But that's what Afenyo-Makin is asking for now. This is extending a hand of friendship.
After all this?
Yeah, they should come. They should come. They should put that episode behind them and come.
But you see, hand of friendship can be taken or rejected. You offer a hand of friendship, it can be taken or rejected. And I'm quite sure, almost certain, that Afenyo Makin is not the only spiritual person in Parliament.
Okay.
That even on his side, there are others who believe in the spirit. What spirit it is, I don't know.
Okay.
Yesterday, I was hazarding a guess that it could be the spirit of Susum Cabre.
Which is what?
In the Osofo does it.
Okay.
I mean, the Osofo, he used to call on Susum Cabre, and yesterday I was wondering whether Susum Cabre has not found a way to enter Parliament, But there may be other Susums and spirits. Now, if everybody is to be as spiritual as Afenyo Makin is, there will be no resolution to the matter.
I just saw something on TV. I thought that was a Susum Cabre. It appears that is actually a human being.
So, this whole issue, really, I mean, and sometimes I sit down and I watch what happens in Parliament and in other governance institutions and so on. And you simply just begin to wonder, Honorable, whether the people we have entrusted with powers to run our governance institutions and so on are adults. You wonder sometimes, really. I mean, when you see members of Parliament grabbing ballot papers and chewing them and so on, you begin to wonder, what is happening here? What really is happening in our Parliament? I don't know.
Because the aging is just is a natural thing. It doesn't mean the fact that somebody is adding on with years. Does not. Yeah, there's a certain expectation by society, but why? We are told that fools grow old too, idiots grow old too, thieves grow old too, dishonest people grow old too. So,
Randy, I'm not going to contest you, except that
unprincipled people grow old too.
Yes, except that as you grow old, you come through different experiences.
You mature in your whatever. If it is folly, you mature in it. If it is stupidity, you mature in it.
But
if it's wisdom, you mature in it.
I agree with you. What I'm saying is that for those who are foolish, I don't even see maturity in their foolishness. That's the point I'm making. And excuse my language, if there are some people who can be described as idiotic, we are not even seeing maturity in their idiocy. That's the point I'm making. I mean, this business of chewing ballot papers and so on. I mean, how?
That's just it's probably that's spiritual. It wasn't.
Oh, so the spiritual thing actually has deep roots in Parliament.
Probably, not everywhere. Probably, it happens.
Oh no, what is your spiritual inclination? you have some. And is yours Tigari or Akuledi or what? Andy.
Which river is in Efija? Ofin River. Okay.
So Ofin is Efija. Every town after the Ofin.
Is there a god in the river?
Oh.
Is there a god?
He may not be taking his god from there. You know, Randy, not too long ago, seriously, I mean, not too long ago,
yes.
You see Jowulu.
Yes.
The traffic light, when you turn from that church, right.
Into Jowulu town.
Along that lane lived a guy who claimed to be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
Jesus of Jowulu.
Yes. And he claimed that to go to heaven, you don't have to take your bath. If you take your bath, you won't go to heaven. And he lived there with quite a large following. I want to hope that that kind of spirit has not found its way into Parliament.
Crazy. Don't create a situation for us to be hauled before the privileged committee.
No, we cannot.
Why?
There is nothing here which is an abuse of privilege. I am not the one who told Afenyo Makin to describe what is happening in Parliament as spiritual.
No, he didn't describe that. He was giving a reason why he would not sit somewhere.
Am I the one who told him to say that he will not speak in the minority leader's chair because it's a spiritual matter. I'm not.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Eh?
Okay.
And all I'm saying is that there are different kinds of spirits.
Okay.
And that's a statement of fact.
Okay.
There is Susun Kabre, there is Akuneli, all kinds of spirits. And the spirit of the Jesus Christ of Dawulu.
Because you are cracking me up.
No, I'm not. Do I sound funny?
Randy,
do I sound funny?
Honorable,
do I sound
please try and bring me down. Please try and bring me to the physical.
Randy, this is why I miss Amkwesi. Why I miss him. You know, great sense of humor, you know, interlaced with very deep intellectual discussions. And I enjoy.
He's a godfather.
He's a godfather. I enjoy.
My God.
I enjoy being with him.
Godfather of spirituality.
I enjoy being with him. Randy, first of all, let me make this point.
Right.
I want to plead with the members of parliament from our side, from the NDC side, and general communicators that we should be very, very circumspect in our language. I've seen very hard commentary, attacks on the speaker and Parliament as an institution. I would like to plead with people that everybody should calm down. Randy, whether you like the speaker or not, and I disagree with him on a lot of issues, that institution of the speaker's office must be respected. And I'll plead with everybody making commentary on this issue to be circumspect. And whether you like it or not, he's going to be the speaker until midnight of 7th. And Randy, you'll be...
excuse me, I mean, a member of your caucus or group has stated that they're going to take steps to impeach the speaker.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm making my commentary. I'm saying that everybody...
So that member was speaking out
no,
of...
don't take me out of context.
No, I'm not.
I'm just appealing.
TK Hammond.
No,
he says that they're going to take steps to impeach the speaker.
I'm appealing.
Is that who said that? Who said that?
TK Hammond.
Katie
Hammond. TK.
He said what?
Randy.
That they will take steps to impeach the speaker.
I'm appealing.
Yes,
I'm appealing to members from our side and from the minority side that we should be circumspect in our language. Randy, anybody who thinks we can do things in the House without the cooperation of the speaker will be kidding. So no matter what the situation is, I think his office must be respected. That is my first point. Number two, Ankwesi talked about this argument about minority and majority and the fact that the speakers ruling at the time did not declare the MPP as a majority. I think, Ankwesi, we've gone past that discussion. The fact that Secheyi Mensah Bonshu was referred to as the majority leader and leader of government business is a clear indication of the speaker's decision on the day. Indeed, when you are declared majority, standing orders makes it possible for you to chair committees. The fact that the MPP side continues to chair committees is an indication of the verdict by the speaker as to who is the minority and the majority in parliament. I think that we've crossed that particular stage, respectfully. Now, Ankwesi drew a very interesting analogy about the speaker, the first deputy speaker, and the second deputy speaker. And the fact that by convention, the two deputy speakers are reserved for both political parties. Normally, majority takes one, minority takes one. My understanding is that as we sit now, the second deputy speaker is an independent member of parliament. That's my understanding. That as we speak now, in this 8th parliament, he is an independent member of parliament.
But hasn't he at the outset of parliament, did he not opt?
He decided, so he had an option to decide who he wants to work with. That does not make him an MPP MP. That's my understanding. So my understanding is that still we have a first deputy speaker who is MPP and a second deputy speaker who is an independent member of parliament who has opted to work with the majority MPP. That's my understanding. So I don't think
maybe the NDC was wrong.
Okay, so I don't
accepting.
Yes. So my point is that
accepting this consensus position.
Because my point is
hindsight.
I believe that.
On hindsight,
I believe that the convention
contested the decision.
Yeah, my point is that the convention has not been broken. To have two people from the same political party or who are in parliament on
but is it not I was going to ask if you were not stupid. Is it not ridiculous that in one breath a person joins a political party to enable them form the majority, then that same person turns around to say, I am independent, I'm a different political party, I deserve to hold the position of second deputy speaker, which is reserved for the party other than the same party I've gone to join to enable them have a majority.
Randy,
that's ridiculous.
But what if the independent candidate had opted to work with the NDC?
Yes, then in the same breath, if, for example, then the NDC could not have had first deputy and second deputy. That's the argument I'm making.
Okay, but I'm saying that my understanding is that he still remains an independent member of parliament, at least for the life.
No, you don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying that you're eating your cake and having it. In one breath, I am independent. That distinction gives me the right to occupy the seat of second deputy. However, in determining who forms a majority caucus, I've opted to go with this particular group to enable them become the majority. Yeah. And by virtue of that, they take their first deputy. And then I then leave them and become second deputy. But in any case, it was the Honorable Muntaka who even nominated it.
Yeah, who nominated him.
On the basis of that so-called consensus and understanding they had reached.
And then, Randy, I've also read and listened to very seasoned lawyers about the Supreme Court, the predictability of the outcomes of the Supreme Court's rulings. Randy, I'm not a lawyer, but I know that we go to court, evidence is the order of the day in court. In this particular case, Uncle says anybody he spoke to was of the view that the Supreme Court was going to give this particular type of decision. But my understanding is that even the Speaker did not put in a defense. Randy, is that the case? The Speaker did not come with a written defense.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
In the substantive matter.
In the substantive matter.
Yeah.
Yes.
But having decided, that's the Speaker, that the court had no jurisdiction to hear the matter, how was he going to put up a...
No, because in the issue of jurisdiction, yesterday I was in the Supreme Court. The 5-2 was in relation to jurisdiction. In fact, the two people dissented was in the area of jurisdiction. My understanding, I'm not a lawyer, but my understanding is that the other relief that was sought by the plaintiff, it was a 5-0. 7-0. That's my understanding. Because when the Chief Justice was pronouncing her ruling, all she said was that in the matter of jurisdiction, two people dissented. So even with that, with regards to jurisdiction, it was a 5-2 decision.
It cannot be.
That's what the CJ announced.
That's what the CJ announced.
But then that makes it even stranger.
That's what the CJ announced.
Because if you have no jurisdiction, how then do you proceed?
No. 5-2.
No, 5-2
in favor.
So two dissented.
Two dissented.
Yes, I'm saying that for the two who dissented, who said that they had no jurisdiction, how can you then say that you have no jurisdiction and still proceed, to make a finding, to make a ruling?
Let's see the ruling. When the fine details come. When the fine details come, I think we will. So, Randy, obviously, if you ask anybody what the decision of the Supreme Court will be, it's quite obvious. When the person who's supposed to defend did not even file to defend.
But that is also not true.
Oh, that is it.
Oh, no,
on the substantive case.
Yeah, are you suggesting that when a person goes to court on the issue of interpretation of the Constitution, a person goes to court, you don't even need somebody to, if a defense is not filed, it is up to the justices of the Supreme Court to ascertain the soundness.
Randy, I get you. I'm trying to make a point. The point, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
It doesn't matter whether.
Yes, I'm trying to. Uncle Kwesi's point about anybody he asks pointed to the view that this is what the Supreme Court is going to say. I'm saying that Randy, when somebody goes to court and you are given an opportunity to defend yourself, and you don't even defend yourself, how is where are you going to? Where do you expect the judgment to go?
Yeah, but in the constitutional, for constitutional interpretation, it doesn't matter that.
Even for criminal offences.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
even
that.
For criminal offences.
Well,
the
I'm not a
court
lawyer.
has a responsibility to be fair.
Because when you look at the
whether or not you make pleadings or not.
You see, why you have reasons is that otherwise, going by your logic, all the Supreme Court would have said was that because the other side did not put up a defense, so the arguments of the plaintiff is sustained. No, they will go into everything.
They'll go into everything.
They'll give reasons why they agree and disagree. It doesn't matter that the other side did.
Randy, I yield to it. I yield to your superior argument. But Randy, I'm not a lawyer. I don't intend to go into the legalities of the matter. Randy, I believe very strongly that there are too many intelligent people in the chamber to bring cool heads to bear. I believe very strongly. I believe very strongly that Mr. Fenyomakin, that I know, Ato Forsen, that I know, the leadership of both sides that I know, the kind of relationship that they share in the house, even with the speaker, in spite of sometimes the banter and the disagreements, you could see the respect that the speaker and leadership have for themselves. I believe that, Randy, we should be able to sit around the table to solve this matter. I believe very strongly that we should be able to solve this matter. It has gone to court. The Supreme Court has pronounced a verdict. I am praying that this will be the end of the issue. Let's all come together and go back to Parliament and deal with the issues.
When are you going back to Parliament?
As I said, we are waiting for leadership's direction. But I believe very strongly that the verdict by the Supreme Court should bring conclusion to this matter. And leadership should bring their experience to bear, come together, find a solution to this matter. So we move on, Randy.
Honorable. You see, there are some statements of fact. Judicial decisions do not necessarily resolve conflicts. I hope you are aware of that. Well, because if judicial decisions necessarily resolve conflicts, 30 people would not have died in Boku over the last week.
I get that's what I'm calling.
So beyond judicial decisions,
that's what I'm calling for the
lies other things that ought to be done in order to give effect to judicial decisions,
I'm calling on,
and in order to compel respect for judicial decisions.
I'm calling on the leadership to come together on this issue.
How can they come together when we are still firing? When we are still firing, not you, your people, they are still firing.
But Fenyomakin says he's extended the hand of friendship.
Ankwesi, that's why I started my submission. Ankwesi.
I will be very reluctant.
He has done that physically and spiritually.
In a fight.
Ankwesi, respectfully. That's why I started my submission.
If I were in a fight, I'll be very, very careful about taking a hand of friendship dripping with my blood.
Right. Ankwesi.
You're in a fight.
Ankwesi.
Your opponent says, I'm now extending a hand of friendship.
Ankwesi, the fight.
And your blood is all over his hand.
Ankwesi, I began my submission by calling on everybody making commentary on this matter, especially we members of Parliament from my side, from the side of the NDC, and to all communicators to be circumspect. At least to the office of the Speaker.
Yesterday.
Let's calm down.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Did you see the circulation of what was supposed to be healthcare or medical expenses of the Speaker?
Randy, I'm coming.
On social media.
That's the blood.
Randy, I'm coming.
That's the hand dripping with blood.
Did you see that?
I'm coming. The question is the Speaker entitled to medical attention by the state?
No, you have not answered my question.
I saw it.
You saw it.
That is why.
Did you see those who posted them?
Randy, that is why I started my commentary.
Okay.
That I am pleading with everybody, members of Parliament, communicators, everybody should calm down. let's respect the office of the Speaker, irrespective of your disagreement with him. The office of the Speaker must be respected. I am saying that everybody should calm down. If cool heads does not prevail, Randy, you're not going to make any headway. And I'm saying that there are too many intelligent people in the house, in this country, to bring this thing to bear.
But it's not possible.
So I am pleading. I get the point you're making. When I saw
but from a public interest point of view,
Randy, when I saw that,
it's good.
Randy, when I saw that,
it's good. Let's see all.
No.
Why?
I'm coming. When I saw that, my point was that is the Speaker entitled to medical attention paid for by the state? If it is, then there's no news.
No, but
there's no news. That's the point I'm making.
No, but if we have come to a conclusion that the public needs to know how much the state is spending on, that is if the figures put out are correct, how much the state is spending on the Speaker of Parliament for his medical bills. If we've come to that determination, then of course, no problem. But the people of Ghana deserve to know for everybody else.
I get where you are coming from. But I'm saying, on my part...
No, I don't have a problem. No. It's our money.
No,
so
Randy,
if you're kind enough to let us know about the Speaker,
it's not the norm.
Please let us know about everybody else.
Randy, it's not the norm.
About all the other speakers.
Randy, it is not even...
All the other speakers.
Randy, it is not the norm.
What is not the norm?
It is not the norm to put forward even medical bills. It's not the norm. Let's agree on that. It's not the norm. So I'm saying that cool heads should prevail. Everybody should calm down. Now we've gone to court. The Supreme Court has given a verdict. The leadership of both sides should take this whole issue, sit around the table, so we can move forward, Randy.
But that is not possible at a time when a smear campaign is being deliberately waged against the people to whom we are extending this hand of friendship dripping with their blood.
No, as for the blood, when you say blood, it creates a different,
I know it's a strong imagery.
It's a very strong imagery.
But we are in a situation which
it's a very strong imagery. I'm saying that.
I do not disagree with you.
I am pleading with you.
But this situation demands that language is explicit.
The Speaker, as I have known, even in my few years in Parliament, no matter whether you like him or not, once he sits in the chair, he's a very powerful person. So going forward,
I said, I don't have a problem with that.
Right, I'm saying that if you disagree with this, if you don't like him as a person, respect the office of the Speaker.
I'm not saying that. I have not said that I have anything wrong with that.
I've not said you have any problem.
I'm only saying that
I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the strong language, and I'm saying that.
It's not language.
I'm saying both sides. I'm pleading with both sides. That, Randy, I've been in Parliament. I've had meetings with a lot of both minority and majority, very intelligent people in the House. This matter, if
this thing,
it can be done.
You remember about, I think, a year or two ago, when the issue of the entitlements of President Mahama came up and all that. The next thing we saw were people then publishing, A was done, B was done. Oh, there are some particular people in his office. The people are paid A or B or C. You see, those things, crazy. We might as well let everybody know everything. Do you understand what I'm saying?
How can I disagree with you?
You see, this thing of
I cannot disagree with you.
This thing of you want to sit.
Let's see everybody's.
This thing of you want to sit with me. That's the impression you create out there in public, and then you have what you believe is a dagger behind you, passing it on to assassins and others.
An assassin
to go and use against me, whilst you show me your 32 and create the impression that you have come with clean hands. We should sit at the table and talk. That's a kid's game. Who doesn't understand that game?
So now the hand dripping with blood, does it make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Randy.
Who doesn't understand
that? You push Randy to accept drip off.
But it is you see, sometimes we must be able to tell ourselves. You see, when they say that no condition is permanent. You see, today you could be in a situation where you believe that you have what it takes to block the release of things that you think will embarrass you or will say something about you today, tomorrow, when your ass is lifted. And somebody also decides that this is how they want to play. That is when you will see the implications of some of these things.
Randy, I've been in this house for close to 4 years. We've worked a lot of the things we do in the house by consensus. Both parties, when you come to finance committee, we argue. At the end of the day, Randy, we all agree, at least for the betterment of Madagascar. I am saying, pleading with everybody, the ruling is in. The Supreme Court, which is the mother of all courts in Ghana, has decided that indeed the plaintiff had a case. Period. Let's move on and find a way of bringing all of us together for the betterment of Ghana. Right? We have just about a month to end this particular term as a parliament. Let's end on a high note. You know, in spite of all our disagreement, let's try and end on a high note. That's why I'm appealing that everybody should calm down. Our language, body language, everything should calm down. Let's extend a hands of friendship in discussion.
No, we want more leakages.
These are friends.
I'm a media practitioner. I want more leakages. Okwesi, we don't want.
Oh, I love leakages.
These are friends.
Yeah.
And I'm sure.
No, we want leakages. All the medical bills and all those things. It must be leaked.
We are going to cross this bridge.
Which bridge?
We will cross this.
There's no bridge at the hospital. We'll be back shortly.
Parliament seat due to defection.
The Council of State reached out to me again that they have spoken to Mr. Speaker and Mr. Speaker concedes.
Hey guys, so I got this app. It's called Ayoba. It's a chat app that helps me with beauty tips and cooking tips. A super app that feeds me music and the latest sports content. I even use it for my studies. And the good news is, I don't need to use my data bundle because I'm on MTN. Charlie, the app just did be.
Ayoba, the all-in-one app that lets you chat, call, read, play, pay, and listen. Use Ayoba at no data cost on MTN. Download Ayoba now.
With license. Now we are mate.
Madam Bajan, I'm your mate. Tamana me mate and my master estimate the car and mommy. Me you good sales. My master in your baby and say my year sales da.
Nti e dia ben fofo na o de eba.
Oh madam, they say me pese me fa abe for kwan fa so e di djuma. Na ka kire passengers no ama di omomo etu your lorry fare. Na afi so mama omo de omo Ghana card na to ticket online.
Ya di papa. And I to asum so. Ubeti yenka.
Bacho you. With us.
Next. What license?
Bacho, yeah, Jimmy license. 2016.
You frozen?
John.
Ah, John, who be you? Ejuma why you be that? Now we're driving enye. Ebe dey na passengers for no omo ejiwe dibibu. Wait me driving.
Bacho ai. Na omo say minya ejuma no a omo bema me license no enfie 9.
Enfie 9 pe. Yo, na dey ben foforo na whatever.
Masisa.
But yenka.
Mo vote Bekasa 7 December to Abama Baomia na enuma ye enkoso toche said ye die ne mpuntio beba obi abrabo eye sro ho eye number 1.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third-Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third-party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
To all our believers,
To the Niger Gunners of Globe Road,
all you Artetas of Africa, of Accra,
of Maputo,
of Oimbo,
the legends of legends down Lusaka way. We hear you.
Now hear us. Obrigado. Galo.
Betway, the official global betting partner of Arsenal.
Ago, setuna tiamo hana. Ayame de say, mitwa na maho, mabaha. Me a list of baby a meko Ghana. E man nyina no. Setuna tia e ba so say, mintimi ntwa mutia. Ati sa me ba.
2025. You are setting for 2025. Nobody won. I swear you only Ghana 2025. The secret is open up to me. Let's say January 25, you will leave Ghana. Nobody will leave Ghana except you. That's it.
Munyina mu woko promoti. How are you? Media mamu. Munyusuno. Eni diemu. Mama ma obi embeto mo shebre. Na wakase obema musika na monkoto. Afi wenso. Osumi ayekoto abano. Ohwa eyesan. 12. Na munkai hu se. Ebo 12 o'clock ewiabo. Se sambo 12 o'clock biema ade eche. Se 12 months ne ba pe afinisisa. Etrese nyankopon odensisa bi ba. Etina ukọ ballot ne so obekai 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Obeusa aya branche na ho. Ono kwa ene wotru yi. Ni aka ni na aya kokafo.
Using Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture, brought to you by Koa Research and Manufacturing Limited Company, proudly made in Ghana, formulated to support your general well-being. For those seeking immune system support, there is Koa Plus Mixture. Support your body's defenses and stay strong. When it comes to combating malaria, Koa MT Mixture will aid your treatments. For effective relief from malaria symptoms, try Koa MT Mixture. Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture are not recommended for pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under 12 years. Always take a malaria test before using Koa MT Mixture. Choose Koa Mixture, Koa Plus Mixture, and Koa MT Mixture for your health needs. Available now at pharmacies nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact 0244 726611 or 0591 565 778. This advert is a...
How far with your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for internet. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
Actually, I'm on a line.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in the office when you can just download the app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Please, Seth, I'm starting work next month.
Another morning, another day filled with possibilities. My old car reflects my journey, and today could be the day I take a big step forward. Anything is possible. Just think about it.
My shelves are ready to be filled, and soon the flat rate will open up exciting new opportunities. I can already envision a vibrant shop bustling with customers, all eager to discover what I have to offer.
I feel optimistic about import costs. Why? Because with DMB flat duty rates, my expenses will be more manageable. I can see my business thriving.
Every moment spent with my son brings back wonderful memories.
I tell you, my son, with my digital skills, now one can say create games in a website.
A show of boot #1 on the ballot.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias. It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia, Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasan. Kile kosen. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling to Kawen in Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. 8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a packing from your book, man. One line. Hey, wait.
You can put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Hey, Bill, wait here. We have star 712. It's much more. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now, welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Let's
choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
never. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Dr. Baumian once said,
"But if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you."
Dr. Baumian, you know, when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. That time now $1 to 4 cedis. And today, 11.5. The rate of depreciation. What are we going to say? $, India, a Turkish near Medinica, Ewo, Dosa or the Bremi. And me money deposit. Not dollar, no. 6 cedis to $1. In August 2022, over $100,000. I have the evidence. Between 1,550,000 Ghana cedis, meaning the dollar was 15 cedis, 50 pesos. Where were the strategies?
The dollar, which was selling at 4.2 Ghana cedis in 2016, is today selling at about 17 Ghana cedis. Prices keep rising, businesses are collapsing, yet the so-called economic messiah is dead silent and totally clueless about how to fix it. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. So with me on the show, I have Kwesi Pratt Jr. and I also have with me the Honorable Member of Parliament from Ofin is the River Ofin? Okay. The son of the Ofin. The Honorable Collins Adubaku is here with us on the show. But as a proud official global betting partner of us now, Betway is bringing you way more with a new fan exclusive page. Place any bet on us now, you stand a chance to win exciting monthly prizes from a range of Arsenal jerseys to memorabilia and more. Not only that, you also stand a chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime play on the pitch experience at the Emirates Stadium. Competition ends on 31st of January 2025. This is exclusive to Betway. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Terms and conditions do apply. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. Okay. So, the death of Madam Ekuadonko was reported. On the basis of that, the Electoral Commission halted the printing of ballots, wrote to the party and gave the party a 10-day window to nominate a replacement and all that. Now, the party did. Whilst the party did, we also saw a letter circulating that the party has decided not to do that and all that. Then all the speculation about what will happen to the balloting or the balloted positions. But the Electoral Commission has put out some information. Now, it's disqualified the late Ekuadonko's running mate, Mr. Philippe Piakubi, otherwise known as Roman Father, from contesting in the election. Despite his disqualification, the printing of presidential ballots will proceed without any changes, meaning the late Ekuadonko's image and party symbols still appear on the ballots. However, all votes cast in a name will be considered invalid and will not count towards the election outcome. And this was announced by the chairperson of the EC, Mrs. Jean Mensah, at an emergency IPAC meeting held yesterday morning. And she clarified that the decision had been taken in line with the Commission's election regulations. And it was announced that 18,774,159 eligible voters are set to participate in the elections. This voter population includes individuals on the biometric register, special voters, and those without biometric data. In a summary report of the certified 2024 voters register signed by Deputy Chairman of Operations Samotete, the IC disclosed that 18,640,811 voters have biometric data, while 131,478 are designated as special voters. Additionally, there are 1,870 individuals registered without biometric data. This figure marks an increase of 1,746,518 voters from the 2020 elections, which recorded 70,027,641 voters. And the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Mensah, has also announced that the original ballot order for the election will remain unchanged despite the recent disqualification of the candidate of the Ghana Freedom Party. And she assured party representatives that Kubi's disqualification will not affect the ballot layout underscoring the Commission's commitment to an orderly and timely electoral process. She also noted that presidential ballot printing is nearly complete. He says, we're here this morning to inform you that the presidential ballot order will remain unchanged. As your representatives in the printing house are aware, we are nearly 90% done with the presidential ballots. This is what has raised a lot of issues. People are asking that. She didn't go out searching for a reason to disqualify the guy, because if he had been qualified, what they meant was that the 90% of the ballot papers that had been printed, yes. Yeah, but Kuzi, this is it. The ballot statistics that the NDC demanded for has been provided now by the EC. So we are told that we're going to have 18,640,811 voters, and then we're going to have for special voting 131,478. And then there are 1,870 individuals who were registered without biometric data, which means that they couldn't take it. So that's 1,000. The story I read, if you are not careful, you might go away with the impression that 131,478 are people without biometric data. No, they are on the special voting list. So they are going to have their biometric data. Those without the data, 1,870. 1,870. So that's it. They say the thing remains. If Kwadonko is on the ballot, any vote for her will be treated as an invalid vote.
Yeah. Randy, the ballot statistics have been released, but that's not the end of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
It has now become a working document, and the statisticians will have to go to work.
Yes.
And the political analysts to check probabilities. We are told that we have a national population of 32 million, and that roughly, the last time I checked, more than 60% of this is made up of young people under 22 or 21 years of age. You understand? Now, given this, is it possible to have a voter population of 18 million and more? And that's a question which needs to be checked. I'm not in a position to do that. I'm not a statistician. But then these things will have to be verified based on the statistics. And then we can come to reasonable conclusions as to whether or not these figures really, represent the situation on the ground.
Mm.
There are still a number of problems with our elections. And Honorable, I'm sure you've seen it. There's a gentleman who's made a video and which has gone viral. And this gentleman says in the video that if you want to vote for the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you use your thumb and you thumb print number 1. But if you want to vote for John Mahama on number 8, you thumb print 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 8. Now, for all practical purposes, this is rigging elections. This is rigging elections. This may lead to the invalidation of votes for John Mahama. There's an attempt to make sure that some votes for John Mahama do not count. And to all intents and purposes, as far as I'm concerned, this amounts to rigging elections. Rigging elections doesn't have to do with just ballot stuffing and snatching of ballot boxes and so on. This is part of rigging elections. Now, I've been wondering why this guy can so openly and blatantly do this and get away with it. Because I haven't heard of any action against him. He's done this, put it on the social media, it's gone viral, and nothing has happened to him. I'm worried. You've seen it. I'm really worried about it. You understand? Now, this is at a time when we are more than a month away from the election. Can you imagine the disinformation that people will spread when we have just a few days to the election and how that can affect election results? So the security services, especially the police, must be up and doing and act in ways which assure us that people cannot be allowed to go on a disinformation spree in order to affect the outcome of the elections. Because that is also part of rigging, you understand? So I'm worried about that. I'm still worried about the general credibility of the Electoral Commission. And I'm not the one saying it. All the polls suggest that the credibility of the Electoral Commission is going down. All the polls. Now, what is it that makes the credibility of the Electoral Commission fall? I think we need to interrogate that. For me, one of the reasons is simply the fact that known card-bearing party members are serving on the commission. I think it's not too late to remove them. Because for as long as they remain there, it makes many of us uncomfortable and creates a basis for challenging some of the actions of the commission. Known card-bearing party members should not be on the commission, even as we speak today. Especially those who have made public statements to the effect that they will do everything and anything possible to keep the NPP in power. They have no business being there, you know. There's something which is a little comforting for me. A little comforting for me. Last week, I read a statement attributed to the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in which he now says that he will hand over power to anybody who is elected by the people. That's a big departure from what he used to say. And I'm happy that he's beginning to realize that the sovereignty resides in the people and not him. He's beginning to realize that he has no choice.
For those who are watching, this is the summary of the voters register, the details, the statistics. Yes.
Okay. I'm so happy that the president now realizes that he is not the Alpha and Omega. And that if the people decide to elect anybody, he has no choice but to hand over. So last week, that was the most comforting news that I got, except that sometimes people don't mean their words. I want to hope that he means his words this time.
All right.
Randy, first of all, I have not heard the president say categorically that he will not hand over power to the next president. I've not heard the president say so. That he will not hand over power.
I hope you are not reacting because what you're saying has nothing to do with what I said.
I'm saying that you are saying the president is saying now that he says he's going to hand over power to whoever is elected in the next election. I'm saying that there's no departure because I've not heard the president say that he's not going to hand over power to whoever is elected in the next election. I've not heard the president say so. I've heard the president campaign strongly for his preferred candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But I've not heard him say that if the people of Ghana do not vote Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the next election, he's not going to hand over power. I've not heard him say that. Number two, the EC decision to go with the status quo, Randy, I think it was a foregone conclusion. I would have been surprised if the EC had decided to change the order of balloting at this crucial time.
No, they couldn't have changed. They could have started the balloting process again.
And that would have been. I don't know how that was going to play out. Now, because you talked about this information, I'm also worried about it. I'm also very, very, very worried about it, and I'm sure your caution goes to all political parties. I watched the video. You know, when Madam Ekriadonko died, may his soul rest in peace, the two political parties started some very interesting thing on social media. They took off Madam Ekriadonko, who's on number 7, and then pushed His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to number 7 and started sharing it. Then I quickly saw that from the NDC, also pushing His Excellency John Dramani, what is his name, Bawumia, from 1 and brought him down to 2 to occupy that. That's part of the disinformation. So I'm very worried about that particular thing, and I hope that your caution is to all of us that going into this election, very crucial election, Randy, elections are won at the polling station. Everybody should go back home, campaign on your record. At the end of the day, whoever the good people of Ghana decides on, I believe all of us are going to accept and move on with the person. I personally am of the firm conviction that my candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will emerge as the leader. But of course, if the good people of Ghana decide otherwise, have no option but to move and support the new president who will be elected. Thank you, Randy.
All right.
Very comforting now.
The chief.
The president before, I heard him say at the Deborah of Chiefs and so on that he cannot hand over to the person he defeated. He said it. Okay? And that even God would not allow that.
No, that is he's campaigning.
That's not campaigning.
No, he never said that if the people decide, the Electoral Commissioner has declared His Excellency John Dramani as president, he, Nana Adam Akufo-Addo, a beneficiary of this beautiful democracy, will be in the position after he had enjoyed to destroy it. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Let us accept the clarity that he has brought.
Yes, I don't think so.
But please do not argue that he did not make those claims before. He did not make those assertions before.
My argument is that he did not say that if the good people of Ghana elect.
Did he have to say that?
Yes,
if he said that I will not hand over to the person I defeated.
No, he
didn't
say that he will not hand over. He can say I will not hand over to the person who, you know. He said it is his wish.
Okay.
It is his wish that Bawumia wins the election.
Injury time for him, Bantamaka. You know the injury time is
Injury time players can score beautiful goals.
I think you scored a couple this morning.
You know I'm a footballer.
Yes.
I'm able to score some very good goals.
Your uncle prevented you from playing.
Yeah, he prevented me. That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
But injury time players are not the best.
No, but sometimes strategically. You see, you have to release them onto the field strategically. You wait for the opponent to get tired, and then you bring them.
So the injury time. Then the one we saw is also injury time. Eh?
Which one?
Oh, we saw one earlier. The someone that's eating. What's the name?
Oh, okay.
What's the name of someone that's eating?
Susum Cabra.
Susum Cabra. Okay.
Randy, once I'm here, let me take the opportunity to thank Coleman and the players. In fact, I was surprised.
The former players.
The former players.
Okay. Name them.
Oh, Stephen Appiah, John Paintsill, Amba Senegal, Mohamed Gago, August Nahimfo. Name some of them have escaped me. Safu Jemfi, Kotoko Safu Jemfi, Prince Poli.
Yes.
Was there. Kwesi Appiah. They all came to
support. Kwesi Appiah,
the coach.
Capito.
Yes, Capito. Okay. They all came to support me when I was commissioning my AstroTurf.
Okay.
But I hope they didn't come to campaign for you. Because, because Masa, I will be very...
No, they didn't.
Yeah, but I'll be very seriously disturbed if Stephen Appiah,
oh no,
my hero,
they went for AstroTurf.
Would do some of the things that
other players are doing. He plays football with them.
I know.
Yeah, so they went to.
They came to support.
That
it was a football affair.
Yes. So purely football affair.
That number of them were all trooping to the conference. It was very colorful.
Your Stephen is one person that
friends of Coleman.
Coleman, yes. I want to thank them.
That short man. Short, dangerous man.
Who is that?
Coleman.
I see that.
He's short but dangerous.
He tried to play a trick on me.
The reason why you called me,
Yes.
I missed your call.
Yes.
I was going to ask you. I had 5 days after.
You want to play some
He has forgotten that you're a vandal.
Don't mind him.
FTD Assembly. Anyway, so the chief executive of Engineers and Planners and Jata Cement, Ibrahim Mahama, has generously covered the full $25,000 needed for a life-saving kidney transplant for 13-year-old Rosemary Buedu, who's battling end-stage kidney disease. Rosemary's story was highlighted in a Joy News feature, Dialysis at 13, produced by Emmanuel Jivenu and aired on the Super Morning Show. The segment drew attention to the young girl's dire situation, catching the eye of Mr. Mahama, who promptly acted to help. Thanks to his intervention, Rosemary's family no longer has to worry about the financial strain of the procedure. In an interview with Joy News, Mr. Mahama's special aide, Rafiq Mahama, shared, as soon as Mr. Mahama saw the video, he immediately instructed us to proceed with the payment to enable her treatment by 9 a.m. today. This is yesterday. The payment was completed. We wish Rosemary a successful surgery and a speedy recovery. Mr. Mahama's support brings renewed hope for Rosemary and her family as they prepare for a much-needed transplant. $25,000 cash down. But this is a 13-year-old girl, and once again, media gets results, but vintage Ibrahim. This is something he does over and over and over and over and over and over again.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, $25,000 for one surgery from Ibrahim is very, very small compared to what he has been doing over the years.
Oh, yes.
Now, this is something that he does on a regular basis.
Yes.
I mean, I recall, a very prominent person in Ghana, somebody who had been in government before and so on, was on the verge of collapse, and I was rushing him to hospital in my car. And we met Ibrahim, and Ibrahim offered to pay the full cost of his surgery. You understand? So it's something that he does almost on a weekly or daily basis, And I think that it is commendable. Not many people who have the means do that, but he does that, and I think it's commendable. However, I think it's important that we move away from philanthropy and the generosity of people like Ibrahim to have the state do what it ought to do.
Capacity.
We have capacity for many foolish things. Randy, this state has capacity for many, many foolish things. If we prioritize the health of our people.
The Central Bank's building, is it President Kufuor is commissioning 20th November? Has it been completed?
It's completed.
Done. So the Central Bank will start operating from there 20th November.
And then your cathedral.
Andy, we are talking about Ibrahim's generosity.
Yeah, I'm saying that if we were
catfish,
not...
the cathedral, and there's catfish there. It's now,
if we were
now
not,
fish, it's the fish farming.
Let's focus on Ibrahim now.
Yeah, we are focusing on Ibrahim. Ibrahim is stepping in because you are pumping millions of dollars into sinking holes for catfish farming.
No, you heard about the restaurant at the cathedral. That will be a restaurant where they will sell some of the biblical foods, the foods we read about, manna and whatever. So if you, for example, look at the miracle that Jesus performed with the loaves of bread and fishes, so they've started the cultivation of fish.
But there will be no cathedral there. That's what
the fish, they started with the fish.
Ibrahim once again,
yes,
has done what he's known for. He's known for that, and rightly, as Ankwesi put it, there are a lot of things he does that has not even come to the media.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure,
but for
absolutely,
yes.
But for the fact that this was on radio, Joy News, and probably Joy wants to, he would have said.
No, they did a documentary.
Yes, yes.
So radio gets results.
Yes. So
once the results have come, they will.
And the beauty is that he does it without even finding out the background where the person's coming from. He does it all the time. And I know colleagues from even my political side who speak of his generosity. I think this is.
But that's a very important point you're making.
Yes.
You know,
he cuts across.
Ibrahim has suffered a lot.
I know.
Simply because he happened to be the brother of John Dramani Mahama.
And
yet, in practice, it is difficult to pin him down as an NDC person or NPP person, especially when it comes to his generosity.
I mean, politically,
you have been so unfair to Ibrahim.
Politically, he could be. You could refer to him as NDC, but the truth of the matter is that he's a relational person.
Yeah.
So he deals with people and he's compassionate. The point is that he's extremely compassionate. So it doesn't matter whether you are. He doesn't take decisions on the basis of political affiliation or blood affiliation or whatever.
I've heard so many.
Once he's touched, he's touched.
Yes.
Once he's touched, he's touched. He doesn't need to see the person. He doesn't need to know about the person. Once he hears he's touched by it, it's brought to his attention, he acts. Sometimes it might not be good for me to say on TV, but sometimes I even think that it gets into the realm of let me be careful. People even think that he.
No, you don't have to be careful. Who doesn't know that about Ibrahim?
That he
doesn't.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets into the realm of you don't have problems. But that's who he is.
Yes.
You won't change him.
Yes.
You will complain 2 million times.
And
he will still do what
he was in my constituency a few months ago to attend the funeral. And you know, one of his aides, Jikono.
Yes.
Is my mate.
Okay.
At Legon.
Okay.
So when they were coming, Jikono called to get the direction.
Okay.
And you know the way Jikono told him that this is the MP and the way he hugs you, very, very accommodating person. And I'm just hoping that God will touch his heart to come to Ifija Kwabre.
You are there.
Oh, so he does a lot of generous.
No, but not for you.
Oh, not to campaign.
Some of the people who
not to campaign for me.
Because if you should ask for my opinion, I will speak against him, assisting you.
Oh, so that's a young lady. That's a 13-year-old.
Why are you I know he can come and build something beautiful for Ifija Kwabre enough. I know he's watching. I know God will touch his heart.
Okay. Ibrahim doesn't watch television too much.
He watches Good Morning Ghana religiously.
He does.
Religiously. Especially when you're on. Me, of course.
I haven't seen the man for how many years.
But you know him. You don't need to. You can go when you're not seeing him. If you see him, you will see him in his full full regalia.
I know he's watching.
I see.
Anyway, so well done once again, Ibrahim Bahama. Baba, as they fondly call him. Well done, and your team as well. I see this on the back page of the Insight. The Accra Collective of the Socialist Movement of Ghana presents public forum. Theme from occupation to liberation. The Palestine resistance and struggle towards freedom. That's the back page of the Insight. And I see it's tomorrow.
Yeah,
Thursday, 14th November 2024, 5 p.m. Sharp Freedom Center, Kotoko Avenue, Kukumlemle. I see you here. You're looking younger and younger. What's happening? And then Dr. Gamel Nasser is also here, and Abdel Fattah Khalil Al-Sata, Ambassador of Palestine. Okay, what's happening?
Well, there's a forum which will be discussing the ongoing genocide in Ghana and its related matters. And indeed, there are two speakers. I'm not one of the speakers, but there are two speakers. Dr. Gamal Nasser Adam.
Oh, you are a moderator.
I'm a moderator who was the vice president of the Islamic University and until then was head of the Modern Languages Department of the University of Ghana. He's a brilliant chap. Very, very brilliant on all topics. But on Palestine and the Middle East, he can be seen as one of the experts, and he will be the principal speaker. Then, of course, the Palestinian ambassador, who is the direct representative of the Palestinian people in Ghana, would also speak. And I've been asked by the Accra Collective of the Socialist Movement of Ghana to moderate. So I'll be there just to moderate. But it's going to be an exciting forum, and those who want to understand the situation generally in West Asia and the Middle East you know, that's the place to be on Thursday. I think the time is what time?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. on Thursday. You know, it's going to be very interesting. I mean, those who know Gamal Nasser know.
You say you're only a moderator.
Yes.
Can you promise that beyond moderation you won't utter a word?
But moderation involves uttering words. You understand? But there's a limit to which you can utter words, you know, and so on. But I'll be there as a moderator.
So it's open to the general public?
Open to everybody.
Okay.
Open to everybody.
What do you seek to achieve with this?
Well, just, you know, to make the facts.
Because I see that your paper, almost on a daily basis, has something about what's happening.
Yeah, Palestine.
Yes, with the Palestine people.
Yeah, because we have a strong commitment to the liberation of Palestine. You know, I mean, you cannot be an Nkrumahist if you support colonial apartheid occupation. So for all those who are progressive, who are on the left and so on, this is a duty, and we see this as a duty. Besides that, there's a lot of disinformation about Palestine and the current crisis in Palestine. So we think it's important to make the facts available to our people. I mean, Randy, you know, one of the things that shocks me most is when I see or hear people supporting the genocidal, you know, attacks that are taking place in Gaza on the basis of their Christianity. It's most shocking. Most shocking. Because Israel is not a Christian state. You know, and I don't like doing this religious thing, but the fact is that Judaism actually rejects the New Testament. And Judaism rejects Jesus as the Son of God. And so on. Judaism is based entirely on the Old Testament. So when I see this half-baked, miseducated priests and so on doing that, I feel very sad for them. You know, they are poisoning their congregations on the basis of lies and fiction and so on. I hear a lot of people going to they say they are going to Israel for pilgrimage. And they're actually going to visit the Church of Nativity, which was built at the birthplace of Jesus the Christ. The Church of Nativity is not in Israel, it's in Palestine.
But some go to the River Jordan, they go to the mount where Christ prayed. There are many places.
But most of those places are actually occupied lands. You know, occupied lands. And as for the Church of Nativity, today it is still in Palestine. And yet Christians go there and they say they are going up on a pilgrimage to Israel. It doesn't make sense. You know. But that is it.
We'll see. Now, Adelaide wants me to ask you, our ardent viewer, Adelaide, what you make of what's going to happen with respect to the Trump victory? What do you expect to happen with the Palestine-Israeli issue with respect to the Trump victory? Is anything going to change?
The only thing which is predictable about President-elect Donald Trump is the fact that he's not predictable. So anybody trying to predict Trump ought to be very careful.
He's predictably unpredictable.
He's unpredictable. You can't predict, you know, how he would act. He's done a few appointments which are interesting. I mean, yesterday it appeared that Mike Rubio is likely to become the Secretary of State.
Rubio of Florida?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is likely to become the Secretary of State who will handle foreign affairs. Now that must be worrying, because the rabid, unrepentant right-winger, you know, he doesn't make concessions at all and so on. And that must be worrying. But Trump is always in charge. It doesn't matter who we appoint. If you look at the last administration,
very close to the Israeli.
Then,
I see them.
Then, there are many other imponderables which can take place now. You see, right now, if you look at West Asia, you will find the Saudis and the Iranians becoming very, very close. They're actually planning joint military exercises, the Saudis and the Iranians. In the Trump time, that was a totally different situation. And in fact, this handshake in diplomacy between the Saudis and the Iranians was the work of the Chinese. The Chinese brought the two countries together. Now, at the World Islamic Conference which took place in Riyadh, the Crown Prince made statements which nobody would have expected him to make before. Okay. Saudi's position, and you know that Trump was also very close to the Saudis.
Yes.
You know, Biden wasn't close to the Saudis at all. Indeed, the Crown Prince actually refused to pick his telephone calls on a number of occasions. Okay. So he's not just close to Netanyahu, he's also very close to the Saudis. And that changes the equation very quickly. And don't forget that Trump likes to pride himself as a businessman who believes in negotiations and achieve results through negotiations. That's something we have to keep watching all the time. You cannot predict what Trump is going to do.
Anyway, okay, so we'll see. But you know, on when we're discussing the Supreme Court thing, the issue of jurisdiction and the 5-2 and whether it's 7-0, 5-0. So the host of Newsfile was also a lawyer, Samson Ladi, he sent me this. He says it cannot be 7-0 on the substantive matter. So, except for those who were not part of the panel that dismissed the application to set aside a provisional order, which application also challenged jurisdiction, all those who were on that panel cannot be expected to have raised the issue of jurisdiction again.
Yeah.
Because they had in their earlier ruling rejected the objection to jurisdiction and asserted that the court had jurisdiction. It is the two who joined the earlier 5-member panel to form the 7-member panel for substantive matter who dissented on jurisdiction. They will not proceed after that to participate in determining the substance, because as far as they are concerned, the Supreme Court was the wrong forum. If court doesn't have jurisdiction on the matter, any and everything it does concerning that matter will be void. Jurisdiction is the creature of statute. So you were alluding to that point, yes. So it's saying that what it means is that once they objected on the issue of jurisdiction, they didn't go further because they thought that the Supreme Court was not a forum. So it meant that the earlier 5, you know what I was going to say? Unanimous 5. The earlier 5 then proceeded. After the 2 were added, said that this was not a forum. They 5 then proceeded to complete the
I think that makes sense. That's what
But really, you are moderating a very powerful platform.
Why?
Because every day I find new people who are glued.
No, something always. He sends in messages all the time.
I mean, who is not? I mean, I know, for example, that your uncle watches this program religiously.
Because I'm his boy. He always likes to, he bullies me.
And then today you told me that Ibrahim is.
But that's what.
And then former President Kufuor. And so who is not?
See, this is my uncle. He bullies, please. When you see him, tell him that.
He bullies everybody.
Anytime he meets me in public, he likes everybody to know that when he knew me, at 364.
No,
and today I'm a doctor.
He bullies everybody, so don't worry about
great
it.
Man.
I mean, sometimes really,
I'm sure a lot of you are wondering who we're talking about.
We are talking about Kandapa. Sometimes I really wonder where we would be if somebody else was the Minister of National Security.
I see.
Sometimes I really wonder. And I'm being very honest about it. And this is not NPP versus NDC and so on.
That's a nice
compliment. Look, for somebody like him, to look at Supreme Court
he trained you well.
To look at Supreme Court verdict.
Yes.
And to make the kinds of comments that he made.
Yes.
It takes an extraordinary person to do that. And this one.
The unanimous comment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The thing can be going one way like that.
And he was so bashed after that. You know, and he stayed his course.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway.
So,
okay.
What can we do?
So we'll leave it here. Why were you not appointed
you on this
Deputy National Security Minister?
I really enjoy participating on this platform with you.
It's a pleasure.
Injury time Mr.
It's always a pleasure for me. It's a pleasure for me too.
No.
I mean, I used to listen and watch you.
So you are going to...
So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Yes, right from here.
Okay.
I'm going to...
No, but we are recalling you tomorrow. I think I'm marking will call you tomorrow.
I didn't know that you're the speaker of
Parliament. He has a spiritual eye. Anyway, well, so that will be it for today's edition of Good Morning Ghana. Up next, Metro Sports.
Occasioned as a result of the absence of an effective justice delivery system, or delayed justice, or biased justice, is certainly a threat to national security. And indeed, when injustice abounds, particularly in situations where the bench, which is considered as the final arbiter of disputes, is deemed to be biased, citizens tend to take the law into their own hands, most times without recourse to the established systems of justice delivery. And similarly, the failure of the criminal justice system to ensure effective and expeditious trial of criminals adversely impact the morale of law enforcement agencies. It also emboldens criminals to perpetrate more crime and breeds lawlessness among the citizenry. Developments which threaten the internal security of the state. If you are going to be able to address the security challenges that we have, especially the domestic ones, we need to be able to ensure that there is a judicial system that works. If you do not have a system, a judicial system that works, many people will simply take the laws into their own hands and misbehave and do what they want. Therefore, in trying to manage the security situation, it is important for us that we do get a judicial system that works. And we are all lucky that in the sub-region, we are perceived as a country where the judicial system works and where you could expect justice. If the interpretation of the law is tilted so much in our favor all the time, people will start accusing the judiciary and will not have the confidence that they need.